rather wrestle in Jello.
Yeah.
I've done that. It's really nice.
You wrestled in Jello.
Yeah, there was a guy in Milwaukee at the time named Rambo Robinson, part of my upbringing. And he was a wrestler, and I'd worked against him, worked shows with him. And one day he's like, "Hey, I'm running Jello wrestling." And 3 of the 4 girls
What is Jello wrestling? What is that?
So they do it at a bar. You're at a bar, okay? And then they have like a little pit at the bar, or a little low part on the dance floor. And what they do is they take like the mats that are here, lay them down, put a tarp over that, and then put Jello on it. And then 2 girls go in there.
Jello?
Like a whole bunch of Jello, and then it makes the surface real slippy. It's usually 2 girls in there fighting. Oh, hopefully I see a tit pop out. That's the entertainment of it. Ain't no one getting hurt. There's really no cause for the fight. It's not enough. That's the thing. So he's like, "Hey, would you be a plant in the audience? So when they challenge a guy, you come out." Because I've worked with 3 of the 4 girls in there with wrestling, so I'm like, all right, I can bring my wrestling in here and communicate with them, even though it's not this.
Yeah.
And funny story, so the one that I didn't know, her name was Chiquita, like the fucking banana. And she was tall, blonde hair, and yellow fucking swimsuit. Like, hey, man, fits the gimmick, Chiquita, I get it. And we get in there, and we're horsing around and laughing and having a good time, and then this one just takes her nails in my back, and I'm like, the fuck is going on?
She just got real in the Jello pit.
It did, and I'm like, hey, you better settle.
Yeah.
And so we were messing around again, and then I get a slap on the back, and I'm like, you better stop. This is the last time I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
And she had to go one more time, so I'm like, okay, we're going to hurt her and make it look like an accident. We're not going to hurt her to break anything, but we're going to hurt her to make sure she's out of the rest of the time I'm in this, because I'm not enjoying the shit I'm going through.
Yeah.
And we're just having fun. So, in essence, what I did was I picked her up for a body slam. And made it look as if my feet went out from underneath me. So I gave her probably one of the first world's strongest slams onto onto wood, and she went, ah! And then we finished the match without her.
She's part of this match, so like going in, she knew what was going on. Like she knew.
Yeah, let's play and let's not hurt each other. Let's put on a show, and she made it real, and so I made it real, and then she didn't like that, and she wasn't part of it, and we managed the rest. And afterwards, I shook her hand and thanked her.
Damn,
and the reason I like Jello is because when she rinsed off, that Jello conditioned my hair more than anything else.
Really?
It was crazy, the amount of softness in my hair. I almost went home to buy Jello to shower and then just let it set. Like, oh my God, it's so smooth. It's
what
crazy.
Flavor Jello?
Well, the best part was I would want it sugar-free, because that stuff wasn't sugar-free. When that gets in your eyes and nose, like it was so gross, like because you breathe it and you're like, ugh. And while we were wrestling, I turned my head and a snot line just like fell into the Jello, and I'm like, oh my God, and we're rolling around in it, but yeah.
Yeah, damn.
So interesting.
That's the answer, guys. If you're ever wondering when it's okay to, roundhouse Ray Rice a chick, it's 3 hits.
It's called protect yourself.
3 hits, then it's over.
3 hits. Sometimes 2. You hit them, they hit the floor, and
then it's over. Then it's over. So what? You mentioned that's kind of interesting that this girl specifically kind of was not playing by the rules and things got ugly.
Yeah.
How often does stuff like that happen in the ring? Where
in
it's
wrestling?
like in wrestling, as opposed to obviously that was kind of a different situation where maybe somebody is.
It happens a lot. It just depends on the situation, right? Okay, so one example: we're at a show. Me and Jimmy are having a match, and somebody in the crowd thinks he's a wrestler and jumps in the ring. That's one example of that. Our response: stomp the fuck out of it. All of us. Stomp the fuck out of it. Why? You're getting in this ring saying you're professional. All right, let's see.
Okay.
So that's our response. Watch it on TV. You've seen it on TV.
You guys can do that.
Well, we don't want to do that. We want you to sit and enjoy what we're doing.
It makes sense that, like, in the context of fucking wrestling entertainment,
you're protecting it. If you're gonna jump in, you're gonna see a side of wrestling that you thought was bullshit. And then you're going to go, fuck that, I ain't doing that again, or I really like that because I'm a masochist, and how do I get involved?
Yeah.
I was at a show once where a bar show, 2 girls wrestling, an 80-year-old guy jumped up, stood on the ring, and pulled his dick out for the girls to fucking see at a bar show in Milwaukee.
What are you doing, bro?
Well, the 2 girls stopped wrestling, pulled him in the ring, spike pile drived him, and he left in an ambulance.
That's fair.
I don't know if it's fair, but it's justified.
Yeah. Holy shit, that is...
Brought him closer to that groundhog's bringing your mail, but I never did that again.
Good, hopefully not. That's fucking terrible.
So one aspect is coming into ring is kind of what you said. Another, like if you're saying, have I ever gotten to the ring with somebody that said they were a wrestler and I found out really quick they weren't, that happens all the time too.
Well, does it, like if you guys, I mean, hopefully not, here in POW or something like that, but like when you've been maybe with an organization or something like that and you have a set match like this in a show, is there ever a time where like...
It gets real.
You're like, what the like...
Oh yeah, sure. look, at the end of the day, you and I could have grown up in wrestling together, been trained together, had the same circuit, and one day you fucked my girlfriend, and my girlfriend left me, and you're in that locker room that I am in. I have to deal with that because I'm a professional.
Yeah.
What that did was personal. I'm here, I'm going to shake your hand, say nice to fucking see you. I'm going to see the cunt that fucked me over. I'm going to say nice to fucking see you.
Yeah.
And then we're not going to talk. Now, if we wrestle in a match, who's to say that I am still not upset about what you did a year ago and might take liberties with you at certain points, and at that point it's up to you to decide, is it worth fighting this back or not. Now it turns into something not controlled or gets controlled really quickly, and there's whole different...
It's kind of a, you can't do that in many other lines of work. That's kind of a perk almost, if someone were to do that.
It's respect.
Yeah.
It's a respect.
What's that?
I've had guys work with me, and you give them opportunities.
Yeah.
Right? If you ever wrestled, your first match, you'd be scared to death. As much confidence as you might show out that curtain inside your little baby in the corner sucking your thumb waiting to shit yourself, hoping this guy's going to take care of me because I don't want to look like an asshole in front of all my friends.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, so it's about protection. This business is about protection, right? At the end of the day, I want you to fucking look good, so I got to do what I got to do to make you look good no matter how I feel about you personally. This is about doing business. I'm getting paid to come in here and do a job.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave that personal shit out. Drama, leave that shit at the door. And anywhere you work, whether it's your shoot job, a wrestling job, you got to leave the drama at the door, because if you're thinking about drama when you're trying to perform, you're not going to perform.
Mine's not on it.
You're distracted. You're not going to hear things. You're not going to respond to things. You might get upset and hit someone, and it just
snowballs.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, that's interesting. That was a very specific. That didn't happen to you, did it? That's a specific story.
I'll give you an example.
I'll give you an
example. I'm not a fighter. I'm not a fighter at all. I'm a wrestler. I'm an entertainer. I'm not a fighter. I didn't get in many fights. I'm not the guy at the bar throwing punches. I'm the guy trying to talk everybody down. I'm a politician. The image is a fighter. Can I fight? Yes. Do I want to? No. Do I want to outsmart you? Yes, that's what I do. I'm all about psychology.
Yeah.
For example, I was working with this guy in Indiana. It was his hometown. He asked to book me because I was a champion. Now, he wasn't going to beat me in his hometown, but he wanted to get a pin where it restarted so he looked good in front of his family. So even though I'm the baby face of the company, we're in the championship, we're at his hometown where he has sold 200 tickets. I'm not going to be the baby face. They're going to cheer for him because they know him and they want them to beat me. So my dynamic going out is going to be weird. I know I'm not going to win him over, right? So the promoter gives us 12 minutes. Start the match. He has a manager. We circle up. He's talking to his manager. Okay. We just lost a minute. Cool. So he does this 4 times. We're 4 minutes into the match and we haven't done shit because he wants to talk to his manager. So now I'm aggravated. The crowd's getting bored. And I'm like, okay. So as he bends over to talk to his manager, I came up behind him and gave him a hard kick in his fucking fat ass. And he turned to me and I'm like, we gonna go or what?
Yeah.
And so we circled up again and he went to talk to the manager again. I'm like, okay. So I ran in there and tried to give him a shoot schoolboy, right? Shoot. Like I'm gonna take him over on his back because he don't see it coming.
Yeah.
He's 500 pounds. So when I went down there and I went,
snap. Surprised you didn't fucking snap.
I looked up at it. I'm like, gonna be a rough night, huh? And he goes, yep. And he sat on me with all 500 pounds.
Oh.
So I went out of the ring to catch my breath, and I learned a neat trick. There's something about when you call a fat guy fat that send him into a rage. Truth hurts. Okay. So I looked at him as I'm upset and I can't breathe. He might have cracked my fucking rib. I'm like, fuck you, you fat piece of shit. And he got out of the ring. And I made him chase me twice. I'm around 18. So he has just run the Boston Marathon.
Yeah.
I slide in. As he's crawling into the ropes because he's blowed up, I kicked a field goal with his fucking forehead. As hard as I fucking could between the eyes.
God damn.
And his head snapped back and came back, and I rolled him to his butt. I sat him up and I put him in a nice snug chin lock, and I whispered in his ear, "You gonna work with me now?" And he went, "Uh-huh." And I went, "Okay." And the rest of the match was just fine.
Thanks for watching that last video, guys. If you would be so kind as to click right over here, you could check out that episode in its entirety. Or you can click over here and subscribe to the channel. See lots of other fun shit that we do here on the channel. It's up to you.